I first want to cut across to my colleague Pranay Upadhyay, who's tracking these developments closely. Pranay, what do we expect from this meeting? How is this being viewed in India? The Taliban foreign minister's visit to India and that issue about flag, will it be the Taliban flag or the Afghan flag?
You know, Gaurav, flag doesn't matter. Because if you see the history and trajectory of recent engagement between India and Afghanistan, flag never mattered. The thing which matters is the meeting. This meeting is taking place, and this meeting is taking place especially between India and Afghanistan. The Afghan foreign minister, acting foreign minister Amir Khan Muttaqi is in Delhi. Especially in context of Pakistan, you mentioned about these things, and we were discussing that, how the Faz Hamid, the guy who was taking, his tea in Serena Hotel of Kabul, is now in house arrest, he's facing court-martial. While on the other side, those who have written off India from the Afghan map, those who have, called it that India miserably lost. Now it is this is the answer by India. This is a testament of real politics played by India. Definitely, what we can expect from the tomorrow's meeting, many projects of cooperation are already there. How to fasten those projects, how India can expand its presence in Kabul, because currently we have a mission there. But we have to find out a way that how we can work without, if we have to recognize the Afghan regime, Afghan government, then what would be the modalities, how we can deepen our cooperation and have a
Let me bring in Ambassador Sood into this conversation. Why is this visit of the Taliban foreign minister so crucial, sir? Are we recognizing the Taliban? Is that important? In your view, why is this visit so important?
Gaurav, thank you very much. First of all, let me just say that we have seen signs of a gradual shift in terms of engaging with the Taliban for the last 3 years. These have been very small steps, and I, for one, have long advised, right, more than 5 years ago, more than 6 years ago, when the rest of the world was engaging with the Taliban. The Taliban set up their international office in Doha in 2013. And whether it was the US, whether it was China, whether it was Iran, whether it was Turkey, whether it was Saudi Arabia, Germans, Norwegians, the French, they were all making a beeline to engage with the Taliban. But somehow we took an ideological view about it, and we did not engage with the Taliban. We said we will only engage with the government in Kabul, and that was at that time President Ashraf Ghani's government. And so therefore, we ended up in a situation where when the Taliban took over on 15th of August 2021, we ended up in a situation where we had no confidence in the security situation, and we closed down the embassy. I mean, it was a disastrous decision. To compound that disaster, we also cancelled all the visas that had been issued. So I'm glad that there is, instead of ideology, that there is an element of pragmatism that is at least now visible in terms of dealing with Pakistan, dealing with Afghanistan, in terms of engaging, because the geography is not going to change. Afghanistan is going to remain where it is. India is where it is. We have a Pakistan in the middle. So merely to bring it around to saying that, oh, just because Afghanistan has problems with Pakistan, therefore we will go and hug the Afghan foreign minister. I mean, tomorrow, by that token, if tomorrow Afghanistan makes up with Pakistan, then what are we going to do? We are going to disinvite him. That's not the way foreign policy works.
Absolutely.
And so therefore, what I would suggest is that this is neither a breakthrough in the sense that we are not going to give recognition to Afghanistan. I don't think so. Yes, we will listen to what Foreign Minister Muttaqi has to say, because we belong to the same region and we have had a lot of historical ties with Afghanistan, cultural ties and so on. We also have a lot of stakes in Afghanistan in terms of security. So we'll listen to what Mr. Muttaqi has to say about how he's dealing with not just Pakistan, with Iran, with Central Asian countries, and so on.
Okay, Jal
It's
Sani. Okay, let me bring in Jal Sani into this conversation. India was seen to be closer either to the elected government or at one point of time to the Northern Alliance, and now we're also engaging with Taliban. What's the message that India is sending out? What's the message that goes out to the world, sir?
The message which goes out is that Afghanistan is our neighbor, and irrespective of any political dispensation in this country, we are got to have close relationship with this particular country and the people there, because you must remember that they are a close neighbor, and we would always like stability to prevail in Afghanistan, because any instability there impacts us directly. And another fact is that we are also have a relationship with them, a close relationship, people to people relationship. And our relationship has been continuous, except with some breaks, with irrespective of whether there was a monarchy, there was a communist rule there, and of
Yes.
course, when the Taliban 1-0 were there, again, there was some sort of a tenuous relationship. We had a relationship with the Republic. And now, of course, with Taliban, we are engaging, and we should engage very actively, because the people of Afghanistan are important. We are always been their
Okay.
first responder. And we have to make sure that by engaging with them, we make sure that any forces which are inimical to our security are not given shelter in that country, and which
Okay.
we are getting lots of assurances from this particular group, that is Taliban.
Very interesting, because there was a time that we saw Taliban work in tandem with Lashkar-e-Taiba and Pakistan's ISI to target the Indian embassy. IC-814 hijack was taken to Kandahar. Our mission was targeted in Herat, also our consulates. Michael Kugelman, few understand the mindset of the Pakistani elite better than you on this panel. Your reading of Pakistan's Defense Minister Khwaja Asif on Pakistan TV saying that Afghans were always with India, yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for having me, Gaurav. Mr. Rasta sometimes says things that don't appear to be completely accurate. I'm not sure about that. I mean, I think we have to keep in mind the broader context that Pakistan, its relations with the Taliban are very strained. That long time marriage between the Pakistani security establishment and the Taliban is now very much over, and of course, the main reason is because of the issue of TTP. So I don't think we should place too much stock in that comment. But I make a broader point as well that I don't think we should not overstate the Pakistan factor in this calculus. My sense is that India and the Taliban would have been prepared to explore cautious levels of engagement, even if the relationship between Pakistan and the Taliban were better. I mean, it's quite clear that the Taliban have a lot of good reasons to want to engage with India. The Taliban, they want friends, particularly in the neighborhood. They want legitimacy. The Taliban know that there is this long legacy of India providing significant levels of humanitarian support and in the past development support as well. The Taliban wants that continue. And of course, for India, it has that legacy of close friendship with Afghanistan to draw on, even if you have the Taliban in government now. And I would argue that India, this was mentioned before, India has concerns about terrorism risks emanating from
Yes.
Afghanistan, including those posed by Pakistani groups like LET, JEM. And I suspect that New Delhi would think that it's easier to convey and advance those interests, convey those concerns to the Taliban if it has a friendly relationship, even if an informal one as well. Now, certainly the fact that Pakistan's relations with the Taliban have blown up, that provides an opportunity for India to try to take things further, to capitalize on the freed up diplomatic space to engage more with the Taliban, and perhaps to get some type of strategic victory by enabling itself to move closer to Afghanistan at a moment when Pakistan is on the defensive.